to a video game.
Yeah.
With G-Rock or...
Yeah, Mission G-Rock. He did a title track for Mission G-Rock, which is a video
13 years
game.
old.
Had to play it by the book.
Right.
T.I. has never been shy about calling himself the King of the South. He's built a career on chart-topping tracks, a bold public persona, and a family-centric image. Yet lately, rumors are swirling that threaten to shake the foundations of his reputation. Whispers claim that T.I.'s oldest sons, particularly Messiah, have become the center of speculation about their personal lives. And the questions don't stop there. Allegations about T.I. and Tiny themselves have also taken on a life of their own, casting long shadows over the family's once celebrated hustle. Everyone has seen how hip-hop's hyper-masculine world can be ruthless, especially when it comes to rumors that might challenge an artist's tough persona. The Harris family has been front and center for years. But is the tight-knit bond we saw on reality TV beginning to unravel under the weight of controversy? That's what we're here to explore. From the quiet disappearance of T.I.'s older sons from the public eye to the explosive claims involving T.I. and Tiny, this story is layered with rumors, secrets, and shocking revelations. But how much of it is real, and how much is just the internet spinning its usual webs? Before the drama took center stage, T.I. was known for his lyrical prowess and chart-topping hits. His early life in Atlanta's Bankhead neighborhood shaped the unfiltered grit in his music, and eventually, that same grit helped him stand out in a crowded industry. Over time, he evolved from a streetwise rapper to a mainstream star. With fame came more responsibilities, and T.I. seemed to embrace his role as a father figure, both on and off the stage.
I just had to sit and take my talking to.
Right.
I just had to sit there and just let my chastise me. You know what I'm saying? That's why you need to be listening. That's what you need to be doing. You know what I mean?
So right out and rebel for the hell of it.
And you know what I'm saying? And I was just absorbing and just kind of simmering in there.
A big part of T.I.'s appeal was his ability to blend rap bravado with genuine family devotion. When T.I. and Tiny, the family hustle, arrived, viewers saw a lighter side of a man whose lyrics usually packed a punch. The show's premise was simple. Spotlight T.I. and his wife, Tiny, as they juggled careers, children, and marriage. It felt authentic. Audiences got an inside look at their daily lives. The playful banter, the occasional arguments, and the glimpses of what seemed like real family unity. Yet, even in the earliest episodes, some fans noticed that not all the children were front and center. T.I. and Tiny had a full household, but the older kids sometimes hovered at the edges. While certain younger siblings thrived in the spotlight, the older ones appeared more elusive, leaving viewers guessing. Was it just typical teenage aloofness, or was there more going on behind the scenes? As the family hustle progressed, T.I.'s sons Damani and Messiah gradually phased out of the reality show. Some episodes showed them in passing, but over time, they all but vanished. Fans, always quick to speculate, began crafting theories about why these young men steered clear of the cameras. Some said they were rebellious teens who didn't want to be part of the family brand. Others pointed to deeper, more rumor-filled reasons. Damani, for his part, broke his silence in interviews. He made it clear he didn't mind the spotlight at first. In fact, being on TV felt fun for a while, but as he got older and more invested in his own musical aspirations, he realized that a reality show might overshadow what he wanted to achieve. He didn't want to be pigeonholed as T.I.'s kid who raps.
You get numb. After you've been in the business for so long, you kind of just get numb to it. You know, you see, when you drop a record, whether it does the best you've ever done or whether it does as good or whatever, you see life goes on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just see that life goes on. It's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Hey man, do you ever sit back and listen to like your anthems?
He wanted to forge an independent identity built on skill, not family ties. Fans respected that stance. It wasn't hard to see the logic in a teenager deciding his personal ambitions and creative direction mattered more than a paycheck. Still, Damani's honesty about bowing out gracefully didn't stop the chatter about Messiah, T.I.'s oldest son. Messiah seemed even less involved in the show, and there was precious little public information about his choice. Messiah's absence ignited a storm of speculation. One particularly viral rumor claimed that T.I. had discovered Messiah was gay or exploring his sexuality, and in a fit of concern over public perception, decided the cameras had to steer clear. The internet took this kernel of hearsay and ran wild with it. Alleged friends of the family chimed in with stories about hidden relationships, leaked photos, and a father scrambling to preserve his hyper-masculine image. But here's the twist. There's no hard evidence backing up the chatter. Messiah himself has been mum about his personal life. No mainstream interviews, no social media rants, nothing. Instead, Messiah channels his creative energy into music, studying, and enjoying a life far from the tabloids. If he's intentionally stepping away from the limelight, he's done a decent job of it. Some say Messiah was juggling his college commitments during the filming schedules. Others insist a conflict with T.I. fueled the decision. At the end of the day, the only undeniable truth is that Messiah chose privacy. Whether or not that privacy stems from T.I. wanting to shield him
to a video game.
Yeah.
With G-Rock or...
Yeah, Mission G-Rock. He did a title track for Mission G-Rock, which is a video
13 years
game
old.
that me and Russell Simmons released together. And my son did the title track for the characters and just basically narrated the entire game.
I mean,
Damani. His name is Damani.
Damani did that one. And then
Damani did it.
or from Messiah preferring not to have personal matters splashed across television screens remains an open question. Yet even as these rumors about Messiah took shape, they paled in comparison to the next seismic event that would rock the Harris family. In a matter of months, unverified whispers about one son's possible sexuality seemed trivial next to the explosive claims directed at T.I. and Tiny themselves. It all began when Sabrina Peterson, once a close friend of T.I. and Tiny, went public with disturbing accusations. She claimed T.I. had threatened her during a heated exchange and that the environment around the couple was anything but family-friendly. The internet lit up. Even longtime fans who'd defended T.I. in previous dust-ups began to wonder if something more sinister was brewing behind closed doors. Peterson didn't just level accusations on her own behalf. She shared alleged messages from numerous individuals who claimed T.I. and Tiny had crossed serious lines. Everything from pressuring them to take unknown substances to limiting their freedom to leave certain private gatherings. Suddenly, the conversation shifted from gossip about T.I.'s kids to discussions about adult misconduct. This wave of allegations arrived in tidal form. Social media posts popped up, blogs dissected every new rumor, and mainstream news outlets began paying attention. T.I. and Tiny responded swiftly, denying all wrongdoing and painting Peterson as a disgruntled ex-friend with a personal agenda. However, the outcry refused to die. For every denial the couple issued, new claims seemed to surface. Fans who once tuned in to watch a down-to-earth reality show now found themselves combing through legal documents and alleged testimonies. The wholesome family brand that the family hustle had spent years cultivating was suddenly under siege. And it wasn't long before the fallout escalated to a point that forced the hand of the network behind the show.
Had to play it by the book.
Right.
They had to play it. This unwritten rule of the G code had to be maintained. Else you could lose your freedom or lose your life.
Right.
Now, once you make it through that, it gives you a certain level of discipline. Now, what we do in success.
For VH1, the allegations against its stars were a nightmare scenario. Reality TV thrives on drama, but there's a big difference between typical family spats and serious accusations that could open the network to public condemnation. Or worse. Initially, production on T.I. and Tiny Friends and Family Hustle paused. It was framed as a temporary measure to gather facts, but insiders knew this might be the show's final curtain. Once enough negative attention gathered, the network decided to pull the plug. Reports indicated that VH1 didn't want to risk further entanglement if these accusations gained momentum in court. T.I. publicly vented about the unfairness of shutting down his family's platform before a full investigation could play out. Still, the network seemed resolute, choosing corporate caution over potential scandal. It wasn't just the swirling allegations that spelled doom for the show. Observers noted that by the time the controversies exploded, the series had already run for multiple seasons. Reality TV fans can be fickle, and some saw the family's arcs as having lost their original spark. Whether it was infidelity rumors or brewing tension behind the scenes, the once fresh concept of a rap star balancing fatherhood had started feeling repetitive. Viewers had already witnessed T.I. and Tiny go through ups and downs, both on the show and in the media. The real shock factor had faded over time. Ultimately, it was the perfect storm. The existing lull and excitement around the show collided with scandal.
That whole concept, that whole idea came from Nip.
Wow.
So Nip came, I guess, after him and Dave were doing their thing. They had their vision, they plan. So I think, Nip came to me and was like, yo, we doing this, opportunity zones. It's an opportunity for us to,
pushing the network to nix the series entirely. Canceling The Family Hustle ended a significant chapter in T.I.'s life. The show provided him with a weekly platform to bolster his fatherly image, promote upcoming music, and stay connected to a broad fan base. For Tiny, it was similarly significant. She showcased her own business endeavors and gave fans a close-up view of her life as a mom, wife, and entrepreneur. Without the show, the family lost not only income, but also a critical tool for shaping public perception. Now, fans rely on scattered social media posts and interviews for insight into the family's day-to-day. That shift could have helped them lay low, but the controversies surrounding T.I. and Tiny's alleged misconduct made it nearly impossible to enjoy any real privacy. This chaos trickled down to their children. Damani was already forging his own music career, but the negative publicity around his parents overshadowed his creative successes. Messiah, for better or worse, remained something of an enigma, still focusing on his own pursuits outside the usual reality TV sphere. King and Zonique faced their own unique challenges, trying to stand out amid all the swirling talk about the family. The entire Harris clan found themselves in a new spotlight, one that was more about scandals and lawsuits than about music or family bonding. As the months wore on, fans realized the original brand of relatable family hustle was nowhere in sight. The conversation had shifted almost exclusively to serious legal and moral accusations. But that wasn't the whole story. The allegations against T.I. and Tiny continue to evolve. Legal filings have popped up in various jurisdictions, some getting dismissed over technicalities like statutes of limitations.
It's you and this microphone communicating with a room full of people, and you have to find an ability to relate. You know, something that you've gone through, that you're going through, something that an acknowledgement, you know, some logic, some kind of something that everybody else can relate to, and that's where the humor is.
Others moving forward under special legal provisions. The internet's appetite for drama means new updates continue to fuel the rumor mill. Though the courts might ultimately decide whether T.I. and Tiny face any consequences, the public has already made up its mind in many cases. Some diehard fans refuse to believe a word of the accusations. Others believe there's no smoke without fire, especially given the number of individuals stepping forward. In the midst of all this, the rumors about Messiah and his sexuality might feel like small potatoes. However, it serves as a reminder of how the Harris family's every move gets scrutinized, and what happened next would shock everyone. Even as T.I. fights to clear his name, new controversies often rear up unexpectedly. Small remarks on social media or glimpses of tension at family events get dissected by an audience eager for clues about the family's dynamic. Whether it's sabotage by critics or genuine revelations, the Harris family can't seem to escape the microscope. In the end, the allegations swirling around T.I. and Tiny are far more serious than any rumors about a son possibly forging his own path out of the spotlight. And yet, both storylines weave together to create the complex tapestry of the Harris family's current situation. The man once revered for his hustle and fatherly charm now finds himself defending against claims that could destroy everything he's built. Tiny, once the supportive spouse, stands at the center of her own controversies, and their children, once beloved by fans for their on-screen antics, are navigating an unpredictable world where their private decisions become prime targets for the public eye. Questions still linger. Will T.I. and Tiny reclaim any semblance of their once bulletproof family image?
I've received.
It ain't gonna be near one of mine. Watch. It ain't gonna be not one gift. What about the car?
Man, that's like a two-part gift. What are you talking about here, bro? And I think this was the year I had just got out of prison and I couldn't drive. For that Father's Day, him and his brothers, they bought me.
Are the rumors about Messiah just the tip of an iceberg we can't yet see? And how will all these unresolved allegations and the social media firestorms that follow shape the Harris family in the years to come? What's crystal clear is that the Harris family's narrative has veered into territory far darker than a typical reality show drama. In a culture hungry for scandal, it's easy to forget the real human lives entangled in every rumor and every accusation. Love them or hate them, T.I. and Tiny now exist in a space where every past triumph is overshadowed by a seemingly endless parade of controversies. Whether the allegations hold weight or not, the public's fascination with the Harris family isn't likely to fade anytime soon. More details could emerge, more twists might unravel, and more revelations may surface, each one fueling the next wave of headlines. The story may appear to have reached its peak, but if there's anything we've learned about T.I., it's that he has a way of bouncing back and stirring up headlines in the process. And so, we wait. We wait to see if T.I. can recover the reign he once claimed over Southern hip-hop, if Tiny can move forward unscathed, and if the Harris children, Messiah, Damani, King, Zonique, and others can find their own voices outside the controversy. The final verdict is still out, and this saga is far from over. Anyway, that's where we stand for now. It's a twisting, turning story with family drama, fierce denials, rumors that just won't die, and the shadow of serious allegations. Whether it all ends in vindication, heartbreak, or some murky in-between is anyone's guess. But one thing's for sure, in the court of public opinion, the gavel hasn't dropped yet.